Hey DIYers, today we're going to prep the fence in order to get it sealed up. That's right, I'm going to spray a sealer on here, so hopefully it'll make it last even longer and it'll keep that new look even longer. And part of the prep, well, it's pressure washing. I need to pressure wash all these pickets. I'll do the front side and the back side because I'm going to spray both sides when I go to seal it. Some of these boards kind of have a black stain in them, mold or whatever it might be, and I'm going to try and use a pressure washer to get as much of that out as I can. And two, I'm pressure washing to get any sawdust off of them that might still be on there, some bird poop. I got some pencil marks that are on there I'm gonna try and get off and just get them nice and prepped so that when I go to put the sealer on there, it soaks in really well. I got this piece of plywood down here to bridge the gap between my concrete curb and the ground so that when I'm pressure washing, it doesn't hit the mud and splash dirt back up on my clean fence. And I'm using this plywood because, well, the pressure washer's not gonna eat through it if I used paper. And then we'll let it sit for a couple of days and then we'll be ready to come back and seal this thing up. Oh, and the pressure washer I'm using is a Simpson's pressure washer. I bought this at Home Depot a couple of years ago, 3100 PSI. It's got 4 different nozzles on it. I'm using the 40 degree. It's gas powered. Now, as I pressure wash this, I'll start the top and go down so that it forces the dirt down to the bottom. And when I get this one section here done, I'm gonna come back and just kind of lightly spray from the top down and get any dust and dirt that may have blown back up onto it and down and off. I'm getting as close as I need to get the dirt and stuff that I need to off, but not too close. And if you get too close, you'll know because it'll start to tear out the wood fibers and you'll see it. Now, in case you're wondering, the fence has been out long enough in the sun to dry out so that it's ready to put a sealer coat on it. You don't want to put a sealer on your fence right after you put it up because it's still kind of wet, the lumber is, and the sealer that you put on or stain won't penetrate very well, so you need to let it dry out a little bit. All right, it's been 2 days. The fence is good and dry. It's nice and clean. Everything's set to go. So a couple things before we get started. You'll notice this cardboard laying on the ground. And this area here where I don't have any concrete, I've got it underneath there, so as I'm spraying, I don't hit dirt and grass and it splatters back up onto my fence as I'm working. Over here, naturally I have it so that I cover my concrete. I don't want to get this sealer stuff on the concrete. And again, I'm bridging the gap between it and the dirt. So when I spray down low, I don't hit in the dirt and cause it to splash up onto the fence. And I've got enough for 5 sections, so I can spray this whole side here, take them all out, move them down that side over there, and spray down that way. Now I'm going to be spraying this with my Airless Titan Control Max sprayer. If you want to know more about this sprayer, I did a review on it. I'll have a link down below for the video if you want to go see that. But it's basically an HEA sprayer. It's a high efficiency, which means it runs at lower pressure, much less overspray. It's not too windy today. I think they said it's between 5 and 10 miles an hour, which is beautiful for spraying, so I don't have a lot of overspray and waste. The other nice thing about this is it's at a lower pressure. I can probably run this at 300 to 500 PSI, get it to spray really well, cut down on the overspray and the waste. I'm going to start out using a 413 tip. What that means is the 4 is how wide the spray pattern is. If you double that number of 4 at 12 inches, it's an 8-inch spray pattern. And the 13 is the pore size as far as how much material is coming out. If I don't like the way it's spraying or it's not spraying enough material on, I've got a 515 I'll move up to. And the other thing I'm going to be doing is when I spray, I'm going to go with back brush. You really need to back brush when you spray this on. That way you help push it in and penetrate the wood really well. So, and if you don't, well, obviously it's not going to work as well. And I'm not going to worry about this stuff is real watery. I'm not going to worry about runs because I am back brushing, so I can take those out, not a problem. Now the product I'm going to use is this Sherwin-Williams Woodscape. Now it happens to be what they call a waterborne product, meaning it's water-based. I really wanted an oil-based sealer because I think it's going to do a better job of protecting the fence and hopefully keeping it from graying like they normally do and last a little longer. They just don't have it. Yes, there are some oil-based ones out there, but I like Sherwin-Williams products. They've done really well for me in the past, and so I just went with this. Now they do have oil-based stains that I could have used. Problem with that is in my neighborhood, the HOA doesn't allow any stain or paint on the fence at all. It's clear coat only. So I was forced to a water-based clear coat. So this has a 5-year warranty on the sealer. It's going to help with it graying, not graying out, but it's probably not going to prevent it. Really kind of the only way you can prevent that is basically to stain your fence. So this here, it says semi-transparent, but it's a clear base. So it's got no pigments in it. It isn't going to cause any staining. And just like the pressure washing, I am going to be doing both sides. Now I'm going to go through and do 1 coat on the whole fence and then kind of look at it and see. If I don't think it's got enough on there, I've got enough, I'm going to do 2 coats. because I want this fence sealed really, really well, because I really don't want to have to do this for another 5 years. So I've got this ladder, because I'm going to start on my neighbor's side first, and that's the only way I can get over there is by ladder. So I'm going to go over there and do that side, and then I'll come back and start over here, and I'll start the filming over here. That side over there went a little slower than I thought, but it went well, and this 413 tip is working really good. There's areas where it seems to soak it up faster than others, and all I do is just spray back over it and brush some more. So this side is going to be easier because it's all just bored and up and down. But all in all, it's going well. It's very easy. So here we go. Because I'm not worried about runs, I can spray slower and get a heavier coat on, knowing that if it runs, I'm going to take them out with the brush, which is nice. And you can see where it soaks it right in, and it doesn't soak as much, because basically you come back around to try and brush it and it's dry. And that's when you'll see me hit it again with the sprayer, because it's just dry and it's taking everything out of my brush. That's why I go slower with spraying, so that it'll soak in and I don't have to go back and hit it a second time. And what I try to do is spray about half, and then I come back where I started and brush. That way it gives time for the stuff I just finished spraying to soak in a little bit. But yes, this is going much faster than the other side. And actually it's quite enjoyable on this side. The other side's kind of a pain. Okay, all I got left is this back side of this section here. I've used about 3 of the 5 gallons I got. Hopefully I can get the rest of this done with what I have. If not, I do have another 5 gallons, but I was hoping not have to open it. Now you'll see me every once in a while turn the tip around the other direction and spray, and that's to unclog it. You'll notice that the tip starts to spray funny or stop spraying altogether, and it's mainly because when I have to stop and do stuff for a little bit, it probably dries in the tip. And the brush I'm using is a 4-inch Premier brush. It's kind of for doing decks and fences. It's labeled for oil-based paints, and I'm using a water-based. I don't know what the difference is, honestly, but it's the only 4-inch brush I got, so I'm using it. Seems to be doing just fine. Now I sprayed this top board even though it's on my neighbor's side, because this top board is a 16-footer and connects to the side that's on my side of the fence. So I sprayed it so that it all be protected and it would last hopefully all the same amount of time. I'm down to these last 4 sections. This section of fence is the oldest, and this top board is so dry that when I spray it and come back, it's soaked in. I've sprayed this one 3 times, and you can't hardly tell I even sprayed it once. So I keep going back and spraying this very top board to really try and get it saturated so that it'll be well protected. From what I researched, you don't need to let this fence dry out for long. A couple weeks is more than enough. This one here has probably been 4 months or so. It's been way too long probably, and that's why it's soaking up so much. You can see that's already soaked in. The back side of the fence takes a lot longer because I've got all these intricacies that I got to do, and the cross braces and everything to get brushed. And I try to spray a 50% overlap. I wasn't quite doing that earlier, but I was going slower to make up for it. And I make sure my brush stays wet. If it looks like it's getting dry at all, I'll go ahead and spray it to wet it up. I want it to stay wet so it'll smear this stuff in and get it down into the pores real well. And I get down behind here the best I can. I know that I'm not getting all of it. That's why I don't mind when I see runs come down through there, because at least I'm getting some of it on the back side completely covered. But it's doing the best I can. Alrighty, I'll finish up these last 3 sections and we'll take a look at it. Okay, we're all done. Now I calculated roughly 1,200 square feet is what I had to do here, and that includes this side and the back side on both of them. And it went through about 5.5 gallons, which isn't bad. I probably could have got it done in 5 gallons, but because I sprayed this top board so many times over here, I probably used up a half a gallon on that, really. I mean, I sprayed it a lot. Now when it's all done and dry, it feels just like wood. It doesn't have any slick finish to it like if it had, you know, some sort of paint or stain or something on it. And to look at it, you can't really tell I did much maybe. I don't know, maybe it looks a little bit darker than it did when I started. But all in all, it looks pretty good. So the test of time will be is, does it stay this color or does it turn gray? I don't know. Now as far as a second coat, I don't think I'm going to do one, at least not tomorrow or the next day. I mean, it looks good. It's soaked in really well. Yes, I could do a second coat. Now, if anything, the back side of this section of fence here probably got the best coating of all of it because I sprayed it pretty heavy and really lathered it on there much more than I did here. This side I did pretty good. This side I didn't do as much. If anything, maybe this one could get a second coat, but again, I'm not going to do it tomorrow. Now this back side of this section of fence, I definitely think looks like it got sprayed because to me, it does look darker than the other side after it's been done. And again, it feels fine. It feels just like wood. It isn't gummy or sticky or slick or smooth or anything. And definitely the top now finally looks like that it's got something on it and it's not just unprotected wood. Even though it ate up more sealer doing it that way, I'm glad I kept spraying over it to get it to have a nice good finish on it because obviously the sun's just beating the snot out of this and really drying it out. So that brings this fence project to a final close with spraying of the sealer on it. And if you haven't seen how I built this fence, there's a playlist right here you can click on. You can go see how I did the post, the curb, and everything. It's a little bit over the top, but I did it myself, so I can afford to do that. So with that, until next time, happy DIYing.